Welcome to the show, guys. We're going to talk some Atlanta Hawks today with a couple of the group members. Going to go ahead and bring on a few of them right now. Mike, how you doing?
Great. What's up, Lou?
Not a whole lot. Just the excitement for this season does not seem to be going away at all. I just get more and more excited as the games come up.
Most definitely, man. Same here. I'm trying to bring it back a little bit. I was talking to a fellow fan earlier, so I was like, yeah, let me tone it down a little bit. But I am anxious to see the boys on the court.
Yeah, and I understand the toning it down, but now you are not exactly like you have a lot of questions about like the organization. It seems like you actually a little more vocal than some of the other guys about like like JC and a couple of the other situations that we've encountered throughout the years. What's your general stance on the Hawks? Like you're diehard, or are you hey, you gotta show me and then I'll throw you some I'll give you some money for some tickets.
Uh, I don't know. I guess oddly both, if that makes sense. I mean, I don't. I mean, to me, yeah, you could be both. I mean, I'm a diehard fan of all of my teams, but at the same time, though, I do have expectations. You know what I'm saying? I hold expectations of them because, and the main thing too is that I don't. The main thing is it's more of I'm a fan of the franchise versus the say individual players and stuff. You know how it is. The older you get, you see players come and go. So when I'm getting into my sports debates or this or that and everything like that, some players don't have anything to do with certain jabs that might come your way. Just for the fact that we just haven't won. Period. So I have high expectations for everyone that put on a Hawks uniform.
No, and I definitely feel you on that. So speaking about the Hawks rotation or roster, what do you think about the rotations the last couple of games? Was there one lineup that you thought was pretty nice?
I want to say what was the one lineup? It was almost like a shooter lineup. I want to say it was like Gallinari and Trey was out there together. I think Bogey was on the court as well. It was definitely an offensive lineup. I like the ball movement mainly in that lineup that I noticed. Though, and I have to remember who exactly was on the court at center or how they was running that with them though. But I know it was mainly those three. I think the ball moved very well with those three, especially Gallinari and Bogey. Trey can be off ball a lot more with those two. They know what to do. They take care of the ball and make the right decision.
That's going to be something that's going to be interesting to watch this year is Trey's development as a player that's not ball dominant, because we've only see him on teams where it's expected for him to just take the ball and do whatever. I think he felt uncomfortable at times with the new spacious offense and the quick passing. I felt like he felt a little out of place at times, where I think he's really going to have to do some hard work and some soul searching to be able to fit in this type of offense.
Yeah, he definitely it's definitely going to be a learning curve where he has to learn how to learn his spots, where he can get his. Because I don't necessarily think that Trey is a guy who, I mean, it's not a bad thing. I mean, he's not. He doesn't want to go a game with like less than 10 points. So again, that's not a bad thing. I mean, like to score. Everybody likes to score. So he has to figure out how he can get his points at the same time of running a better offense. It's a lot more people to pass the ball to. Like, he doesn't have to go for the hero play, because if I run this set, I trust and believe that Bogey's going to catch it and knock it down over there, or Gallo's going to do this, or if I give the ball up, the correct play is going to happen. When a lot of times, to be honest with you, we just didn't have the tools for it in the past.
Right.
I know some games I was critical of Trey down the stretch, like he forced it or something like that. I know a play sticking out in my mind last season against the Cavaliers on the road against them. He might have tried to take a quick three that we didn't necessarily need, and that's part of the maturation outcome with Rondo. But that's also sensing that you have to force it and carry the team because you don't have anybody really with you.
I agree, and I think one of the keys to our development is that we should have no rushed shots. And by rush shots, I mean that there should be nobody feeling like they got to play hero ball at all. Like there should be every shot should just be able to flow in the offense, because so many people attract so much attention, and you're going to get either a kick out or you're going to get a drive in the lane. So I just think as long as we play within ourselves, the sky's the limit with this team, because it does have the proper pieces. Now it just needs people to develop the heart to go with it, as Damon would say.
Yeah.
So this matchup, we actually, you and I have a feeling about the Memphis Atlanta game, that should be a national game every year. I agree with you, but now we get that matchup in preseason. What are you looking for in this matchup?
If whatever his nickname is playing, Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., if he's playing, the first matchup come to my mind is JC versus Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is a nice young talent at the 4. If you look at Memphis, they were in it last year mainly because of coaching and some nice vets around them, though. But they're a lot similar to the Hawks timeline, just like a year behind. Jaren Jackson is their JC. Came a year after. The same track we got. A year after, right? Well, when we got Trey or whatnot, and then after we got Trey, the following year they went and got their point guard and Ja, which is like we did with JC and Trey. So with them it's Jaren and Ja. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm critical of JC's defense. So Jaren Jackson, guy who spread the floor, he'll try and put it down on the ground. Drive to the basket, and he can make plays.
Well, we'll know a lot after Grind City. I think the Orlando Magic, we played them a lot. I think this game will give us a little better barometer as to where this team is as far as all that goes. Now, I saw somebody do a top 5 ranking where they put John Collins in that top 5 of defense on the Atlanta Hawks. I actually think John Collins has a lot to prove when it comes to defense. He is good at defense in the way that a 6'9" jumpy, springy guy can be good at defense. His footwork, his understanding when to drop back, his placement, his awareness, all that needs to rise at a very high level, especially if he's talking about being a max player, because he is going to be a little undersized most of the time. So it's all about positioning with him on defense. I do not think his defense is where it needs to be.
I don't. Last year, especially once he came back, like I said, I was saying that a lot because, just look at successful teams. You have some out there, but majority of the time when you're talking about championship basketball or conference finals, at least your top 2 players you're looking at, both of them, put it like this, it's not going to be 2 players who can't play defense. You understand what I'm saying? And then most of the time, one of those top 2 players is probably going to be partly a specialist. There'll be a star because they can do offensive, but think of it even the Bulls. Of course, Jordan and Pippen played defense. Even with Steph and Clay is the defender. You understand what I'm saying? Dre is a defender. To make up for Steph. So my thing is, if Trey is that guy who is already an all-star, who's going to be questionable on offense, the next guy, and that's why I want Hunter or Cam to potentially elevate to either number 1 or number 2, is because they have the ability to play defense. And that's where the championships are going to come into play, especially when, you're playing people 7 times in a row, seeing the same thing over and over. It's about that defensive awareness and little things that's going to get you there. So, again, like I said, I love John, but that's just, me looking at the bigger picture for the team. I just want us to get to that championship.
I think with the people that we brought in, that is going to be something that is going to be osmotically learned in practice, because like people that are like Chris Dunn and Rondo and Clint Capella, defense is important to them, and for a couple of those guys, it's how they're in the league, and so they take it seriously. And so when someone who's offensive minded looks at someone who's defensive minded and see how they get prepped for the game, it both can help each other when it comes to either learning how to beat a good defender or just being a good defender yourself. So I'm excited about this team, that's for sure. And you have some interesting matchups. I think Ja Morant and JC and JJJ are definitely some interesting ones. This team is positionless sometimes. Like when they have Gallinari in there, I just feel like at any moment somebody's popping out to the wing and can get an open shot. I'm really excited about the flow of this offense. Do we know if Cam's going to be in the game today? Because I really want to see his evolution.
I'm thinking that he's not. Last thing I saw, I don't know if it was questionable or he was upgraded to probable. It's based upon the words, terminology. I pretty much tell you if he's probable, I'll bet that he's playing. But I want to say last I saw he was questionable.
Gotcha. Well, I had some media for this, but actually, right as we came on, I realized that my little thing crashed. But I wanted to ask you, and I'll probably bring this up on another show.
Okay.
Who is the better GM after these last 10 years? Is it Danny Ainge or is it Travis Schlenk? And I'll start off. We got to remember Danny Ainge was able to turn Markelle Fultz into Jason Tatum and a pick.
Yeah.
I think at this point we need to start putting Luka for Trey and another pick, which ended up being Cam Reddish, onto that level where I can't really say they got fleeced the way Markelle Fultz turned out to be, someone who's just now realizing some potential.
Mm-hmm.
But because Luka is what what he was advertised as. But still, I think that's a good pick, as well as the Clint Capella one, as well as all the other moves that he's made. I just think like he's got to be in there with the GM of the decade when it comes to Danny Ainge.
Yeah. Being a Hawks fan, of course, he's like GM of all time. But man, we're put it like we're gonna have to have on court success for the national attention or something like that to happen, of course, for the moves that he's made. I mean, number one thing is that he traded Luka, so they're not too much going to think about any other moves outside of that. If unless you're a real basketball a fan and you're really doing your research. I mean, the people who are inside the NBA and everything, not like the media on ESPN, TNT, or stuff like that. They know the moves that the Hawks have made. Everybody loved the young core outside of Trae Young still as well. You love the pieces there. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna have on-court success for Trae to get that credit. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know if anybody Tatum yet. I love Trae though, but Trae hasn't had the Jason Tatum playoff showcase at least as of yet. And with the Celtics making it, I know he got blocked this last playoff run or whatever, the crucial block, the shot, but it's nothing that I can just say was Tatum's fault either with the Celtics making the playoffs. So right now, what I'm saying, Tatum is at the moment the better player. I mean, he's like 6'10", very nice. They rumor that he grew some more too. So and then guys like that I think about too, man. We gotta have somebody who can guard guys like that at our fourth spot. So
which is not Gallinari.
No, not Gallinari either.
But so okay, so we've seen most of the draft picks in the top 10 perform. Is there any buyer's remorse, or is there any grass is greener when you're looking at any of these players? I saw Tyrese Halliburton play. I thought he played pretty well.
Are you talking about for the Hawks?
No, just in general for the leagues, the rookies. This rookie draft Are you feeling some kind of?
But mainly this season though. I mean, I almost wish Okoro would have dropped to us because I'm a Georgia boy and I wanted another Georgia kid to play for us. We couldn't get Anthony Edwards and Okoro at the moment looking a lot more comfortable at this level than Ant-Man is. So that would have been nice, but he went to pick before us. I just wanted to shout out that real quick because, like I said, I'm a basketball fiend. So if anybody pay attention, Georgia high school basketball has really been on the up and up in this last decade, and we've been producing some folks, man. Like every lottery this year. What's up?
Now I was gonna say I remember the Sharif days, so bring it. I'm hearing it.
Hey man, Sharif was like, who was Sharif, Dale Davis, those were like big victories coming out of Atlanta and stuff like that, So, but now it's like on the regular, and it's funny you bring up those names, well, we're still talking about, Georgia basketball, but they come from the same kind of area. But now you've had Jaylen Brown, you've had Wendell Carter, both of those lottery picks, Colin Sexton.
Jaylen Brown's a great ambassador for people in general. Like if you want to be inspired or motivated, just go look at that guy's story.
Very solid guy, great player, man. So like I said, people just have to pay attention. I mean, again, like I said, we had Okoro and Ant-Man this year. Saying those some Georgia high school basketball players. We had other guys. Then we got guys like Jay Crowder that's solid in the league that people don't realize is from the state of Georgia. It's from like Villa Ricker, I believe.
Right. So going back to this year's draft class, have you been watching enough highlights to kind of?
I have.
Did you
One
watch
thing I want to see, I want to see Denny to keep balling. I hope he keeps balling because I
I
was
really
telling
think we should
people,
have gotten
and people
that
people were like shutting me down because I was like, not to put aside what Luka's done, but I was like, I mean, this guy's supposed to
guy.
be the next Luka. It was
He
like, nah, it's not the same league. He did it, and I'm like, bruh, he still was young and was close to MVP, this and that. Whatever. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I will completely agree with you that he is the only one that is like, ooh, and has got to do better than that dude because we had a chance to get him, and he was supposed to be the fourth, the fourth pick, and the Bulls went crazy, went with Patrick, who might end up being a pretty good pick in its own right. Um,
Yeah, I made fun of that pick. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't very educated about the pick, but at the same time, I mean, it just took me out of, I mean, it just came from left field. Even the quote unquote experts, it was a surprise to them because I just haven't seen his name that early,
mhm.
But I mean, he looked solid in the game that I saw him play in, But at the
What do you,
same time, they probably, I don't know, they probably could even move back, got some assets, and got him later on.
Right. Well, what do you think of Babidi's comment here? It says, Onyeka is my critical pick in helping this team flow in its defensive structures. We will lack somewhat, I believe, but his contributions will be exemplary in showing growth in that defensive area.
Um, the way I feel about Dolo is whatever we get from him, man, that's just like, icing on the cake. It's just a beautiful thing. I for one, going into this draft, I felt like no matter who we picked, they weren't going to get too much burn. I mean, that's just because we've done majority of our drafting the previous 3 years, so we were past that. So it's like if we had a draft pick at any point, 1, 2, 3, I don't care if there was a top pick, come in here and be able to start over Clint, Trey, Cam, Kev, DeAndre, and John Collins. I mean, we definitely need to trade one of them. None of the rookies this year is going to come in and start over any of those guys. So I think anyone was going to be hard pressed to find time, especially with us going to add the vets that we did. Anyone would be hard pressed to find time right now, unless they just showed that they were like LeBron James in training camp.
Which
And
is
with it being a
which
and
as
it
a franchise, that's where we want to be. We want our rookies to be coming in and not being expected to perform at the level that we expected JC and Trey Young to perform at, and even
So
DeAndre.
we might not see anything from, Double O or whatnot for a couple seasons. It might be year 3 before we really start seeing anything worth from him that's like giving us anything, and him starting to step into his potential, which is fine. I mean, I have no problem with that.
Well, we're about 10 minutes out from game time here.
Okay.
So real quick, I wanted to bring back on the big board here, and I wanted to see if you had any changes in your. We can do them separately this time, so we'll just do the East Coast here. Is there any changes to your standings after seeing Washington play, or after seeing any of these other teams play? Who do you got? Let's run
I
it
don't
down.
know. I mean, I threw the Wizards in already, so I don't know, man. My it's my fandom. It's my fandom. It's my fandom. I'm gonna say this year is gonna be a very great year. Let's just say that. I mean, it's going to be some great basketball. I think so. A lot of good games. So number one, just go with the Bucks. Like I said, I'm gonna go with Coach Bud and Giannis in the season. That's
That's
what we're
crazy
talking
to
about.
think. That's crazy to think.
That's crazy to think.
Yeah, the coach Bud just went to another team and is he's a good coach. We knew that
I
when we had
mean, bruh, he got us to number one seed in the East. Like
I
he can
agree.
get any team to number one seed in the East.
I think our player development's pretty good. That's what I'm, out of all these preseason games, I'm just looking for player development. I'm looking for the players to be better than they were before, either more
That's true.
aggressive
I was
or
gonna say too. I saw that Cam was upgraded to probable, so he should
that's
play.
good. That's good. All right, so who
Yeah.
you got next?
Gonna go with Brooklyn.
The
That's off
next.
sheer willpower. Brooklyn. We're talking East third. Gonna go Miami and then Boston. Those two can be interchangeable. All right, now this one is get tough. Fifth seed, man.
You got the
Fifth
next.
seed. Nah, not
You got the Sixers?
oh yeah, the Sixers. Sixers. You're right. Sixers. So I was trying to see Sixers. All right, now I'm gonna throw in probably. I'm thinking the Wizards. I'm gonna show them some love.
Hey, look,
Wizards.
if Donnie, if that
Dang,
if that kid, that European kid plays well,
I like him. I ain't gonna lie, I like him. I
so
like him a lot. Like I said, I saw his stuff with everything. I was looking, I was like, man, he sound like look like next Luka to me. I was reading his achievements. I'm like,
he looked bigger when seeing his highlights. He looks bigger playing in the NBA than he did in his highlights when he was in Europe. I'll say that.
that's
Um,
true. But it's the same thing with Luka for me too. He looked bigger like in the NBA versus his
I
highlights
don't
show
know.
showing to me.
I don't know if it's their high def cameras or what, but every time I'm like,
Might be.
that's kind of small.
I think it's the courts. It's like the them setups because like the bubble gave me a Euro feel to
Yeah,
it.
for
but
sure. All right, so
but
what you got Ronto next?
that's why I'm sitting here debating, bro. Like I don't know, man. That's hard because I'm thinking, man, go ahead, Toronto and then the Hawks, man. Because I'm thinking the Pacers probably still be in there, but I don't want to make myself mad or other Hawks fans mad by dropping us.
Well, I'll tell you this: these teams right here for me are all in the next tier. Um,
I really like the Hornets.
yeah, the Hornets got a nice team. I don't think they're ready yet. I don't think they're ready yet. Looking at them, I
For
just
that,
don't think they're quite there.
and
Let's see.
Hayward, he's gonna be hurt.
Yeah, but you know what? Thibodeau is already showing his ass in New York, and I think that team's going to be a lot better than people expect.
Oh, or yeah, New York's gonna be nice. I mean, we had trouble with them last season anyway. Frustrating.
Yeah, but now they
And
got.
Obi
I
looking
think
okay.
I know. All right, so in the West, and then so that way we can still have time to plug your merch.
The West. Number one, go to the West. I said I think I picked Denver.
Oh, dude, they
No,
look.
no, Zion, man.
I'm not just kidding. They look.
Denver.
They look as legit of a team. People thinking that Jeremy Grant was a loss. I think that was smart because they cleared space for Michael Porter Jr., who is fully healthy and is a knockdown shooter and is looking really, really comfortable out there now.
The key is, man, they missed one of my favorite players in the bubble. He didn't play the whole time.
Who
He's
was?
back now. Will Barton.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That little the point guard dude.
No, I think he played small forward for him. I think it, when
Yeah, but he's nitty bitty. He was playing more point guard when I was watching their highlights the last game.
he played deep. Oh, you might be talking about Morris.
No, no, I was talking about Burton. He's real skinny. I mean, he
Will
might be
Barton.
like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, he's skinny. I don't know. I have to look up the position he is exactly. I know at the most they probably put him at the two guard though, but I like him. He plays defense, man. And he's athletic. He get out on the wing. Him and Gary
Right.
Harris is a great combination. But yeah, the Lakers second. Then I'll go with the Mavericks third.
Mavericks.
Yeah, Mavericks third.
Woo! Not the Clippers.
Clippers fourth.
Mm-hmm.
Then shoot, nah, not Golden State.
No, I gotta get.
Nah, they'll be in there, but not that high. Jazz five. Jazz five. Portland seven. Eighth will go to the I believe Phoenix Suns.
Wow, that is surprising. I will say that. So you
I'll
got
say
them.
Phoenix Suns. I don't know, man. That's gonna be tough. Cause the Rockets, man, they might still make it in there.
So you got them over the Rockets, the Sacramento Kings, who people are obviously sleeping on.
Yeah, I don't believe in the Kings. I'm definitely sleep on them. I'm trying to think of their roster now. And I mean, I know it, but I don't like their pieces.
It's not bad. It's not bad. All right, so this is I think it's pretty much the same as before. I think Damon would have added the Rockets and Washington in if he was here for this one. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to remove that real quick. And as I'm setting this up here for everybody too, let me make sure. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. And so the next thing I wanted to do is to talk about your merchandise here. What do you got going on?
Oh, yeah, man. Everything always going still. As you see, hoodie. Got
Mhm.
hoodies for the winter. Little Atlanta history, Atlanta terminus, with a little history right up on the sleeve there. Terminus was the original name of Atlanta. So,
Really? I didn't
yeah,
even know.
yeah, yeah. You didn't know that, man? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was one of the original names. The very first name of Atlanta, I believe, was Marthasville for a short period, and then it became Terminus when, like I said, a little history right up on the sleeve, part of the style there, and then got something on the back there, like the silhouette of the city map. Can't really show you there, but
Yeah.
yeah, like I said though, when the railroads came here, and stuff like that, Georgia railroads kind of opened up the states going out west and stuff like that. So Atlanta always been a transit city. And the railroads were just like the airport. Once the airport became what it is, how the airport is for the rest of the world. The railroads was that way back when. So Atlanta always been a transit city. If you're from here, do enough digging. Your parents or your parents' not from here.
Sounds
It's
like a lot.
yeah,
Well,
they're from somewhere else. So then we got some jerseys. Back here, ATLians jerseys you can pre-order on the website with your with zones on the back, numbers and stuff like that.
oh, that's pretty
Those
smart.
things.
That kind of has an Allen Iverson feel to it too. Those
Oh
old.
yeah, it does. The classic Outcast ATLians
I love that one. I might have to
t-shirt.
cop that one myself.
Yeah, man. So just a few things, man. Always working on things, man, and everything like that. So that's some of the stuff we got going on right now on the site. Mainly is the jerseys for the season coming up, and just keep in touch on the site and everything, and on Instagram. As you see the name, you follow me there.
At that at arch_alien for those who want.
At Arc Alien, as in like Archangels, but Arc Alien.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, we will get more we'll get more links and whatnot set up to your Teesprings and whatnot, and or your webpage, and try to get some of those copped for you. And I think that's gonna be the show there. We looking forward to the game. I think it's gonna start here in a little bit, and
Yeah.
we'll be back
I think
to
what 7 o'clock tip off.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a 6 o'clock tip off, but I might be wrong. Well, 6 o'clock my time.
It's like, well, shoot, no, it's today 8 o'clock. I was 7 p.m.
Huh. Oh, damn.
8 p.m.
It was definitely set up at 6. It was definitely set up at 6. They must have just changed that. Anyways, well, I hope everybody just enjoys the show, and then we may come back after the game, especially if it's a good game or we got some stuff to talk about. I know Jamal is more of a nighttime guy, so he might join the broadcast. So we're gonna check out the game, and then like I said, when the game's over, look to see if a link pops up, and that'll be your boys. So come check us out. Well, anyways, Mike, enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.
All right, man. Take it easy.